A very good evening and welcome to UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. live from Now Avenue. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Mugal Mohammed on sign language. Let's take a look at our headlines today. In UBC News tonight, 1 unit out of 6 at Karuma to start generating electricity in 3 months. Water scarcity hits Teso, Karuma and Lanka regions. Protesters storm Sri Lankan president's home in Colombo and set the PM's house on fire. Uganda hosts Anoka delegates to plan for 2024 Olympics. In our top stories of the day, the State House Controller, Jane Badeche, has advised industrial hub managers currently undergoing a 2-week leadership training at the National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi to use the opportunity of their new roles to contribute towards the development of the country. Badeche was giving a lecture to 14 newly appointed managers and their assistants from the different State House industrial hubs spread across the country, stressed that by giving clear leadership in the scaling program of youths in their respective regions, they will be making a positive contribution towards Uganda's development. She stressed that it will be through such programs that the government will eliminate poverty in rural and urban households in Uganda. She applauded the vision and efforts of President Museveni for coming up with a great scaling program. Now, Badeche also challenged the managers to ensure that there's strict discipline among the learners, saying that any form of indiscipline, such as immoral behaviors, will discredit the main objectives of the scaling program. She said each industrial hub will be accommodating a total of 300 youths who will be training in different skills over a period of 6 months, adding that all the participants shall be residing at their respective hubs. Nali Deputy Director Kano Henry Seruga welcomed the participants, saying that they'll do their part to churn out cadres who are patriotic, committed with perseverance, and have a broad understanding of Uganda's national interest and elements that shape the country's political and economic panorama. He said that Uganda gears towards Vision 2040 and they need to be reminded that they need to remind themselves of their cardinal roles in their efforts, saying being industrial hub managers places upon them a high premium in terms of responsibility, good leadership, creativity and innovation. Engineer Sharon Kyomugisha, the Director of Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs, disclosed that 12 industrial hubs will be starting full operations by the 23rd of July and will each admit a total of 300 youths per semester who will be studying on a residential basis for 6 months. He said the hubs will go a long way in acting as key centers for transforming the lives of Ugandans across the country. Earlier on, the State House Controller and her team met and held discussions with Brigadier General Charles Chisembo, the Director of NALI, who expressed his delight for hosting the 40 participants, saying that they're sharing a lot of experiences in terms of knowledge, skills and essential tools to enhance their effectiveness.
To mix up with the public and mindset change, I think this one is going to preview for us. It is going to change those ones maybe that we did not see through this procedure I've told you into what really is State House life. Thank you so much for turning up. I thank my people for being with you, for coordinating you, for making you work before we met. We chose you, we entrusted you with our hubs. You already went there. I hear you're working very well. You've not gotten any problem, and you're delivering. But you're going to deliver. I want to see how you're going to deliver now when we begin. The way you behave, the way you speak, the way you relate with people should be a lesson to this learner who is not educated. Either he's young, either he's big, because we didn't segregate. Our age target is it 30 something, 35? 35, these are big men, they are family owners. But they've come to earn a living, to pick something that can lead them into earning. So you have to tolerate. Maybe you're going to meet drunkards. How do you change their mind? You change yourself. Then after changing yourself, you move on and change them. Transfer the knowledge, transfer the skill you've picked from here, and lead them. Lead them. This is what I wanted to tell you about our objective. The next objective is, when we come to value addition, then you're going to mix up with the public. You're going to handle farmers. You're going to handle farmers. You're going to meet people. Which message do you transfer into this society is very important in relation to our leadership.
Now, 1 unit out of the 6 at Karuma hydropower dam is being installed to generate electricity in October this year. Timelines have also been laid out for the remaining 5 units to be fully functional in the first half of 2023. This was disclosed during a site visit and progress review by Uganda's ambassador to China, Oliver Oneka, and China's ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Linzong.
Well, according to the contractor, Sino Hydro, works on Karuma hydropower dam are in advanced stages, and very soon 3 units, each adding 100 megawatts, are set to be commissioned.
We have reached at a point of this project where we are now doing dry tests. What that implies is that installation works are complete, and therefore we hope to meet the target set in our schedule. Our first unit is expected to come online in October, and then November and the subsequent month of December. That will add a total of 300 megawatts to the grid, and then the other subsequent units will follow into the year 2023 in January, Feb, and March.
Commissions, the drug commission is already completed to 40% around. So we are confident for first unit can be commissioned in due time.
Intent, commitment, and assurance from the ground players at Karuma indicating that Uganda's flagship hydropower project is on course. According to the contractors, work on the dam is now at 99%. Engineer Paul Tumwine from the Uganda Electricity Generation Company explains what entails the remaining 1%.
So the 1% we are talking about is ensuring that the equipment installed and designed are tested and passed. So the key word there is passed. So there will be rigorous tests undertaken on this equipment, and once that is passed, that 1% comes through.
The project manager from Sino Hydro highlighted the delays on the project, attributing them to the COVID-19 pandemic. The People's Republic of China's ambassador to Uganda stressed that all efforts will now be geared towards the fruitful completion of the project.
I have toured this site and I find that a lot of progress, real progress has been made. And I'm more than happy, more than anxious to see the completion of this flagship project between China and Uganda. And would like to see that it will bring more real benefits, real impact on the socio-economic development of Uganda.
Karuma hydropower dam's construction started in 2013, and since then, this project has been met by delays and difficulties. However, once online, the dam will add 600 megawatts onto Uganda's national grid.
When power goes off, everybody remembers what the president has been saying, that soon we are having excess power. We will be supplying to neighbors in the region. And once power is off, it's very difficult to be convinced. But from what we've seen, the figures we've been told, the facts on the ground, I think it is soon happening.
Now, Moroto district residents are now exchanging firewood and charcoal for local brew dregs as food. This comes at a time when famine bites deeper into communities following unfavorable weather and insecurity, which left many without going to the gardens. However, the State Minister for Relief, Disaster and Refugees, Esther Anyikun, said Moroto will soon be getting food from government. Take a look.
Hundreds of Boda Boda fans over the weekend gathered in Luwero to witness the launch of Muhoozi Kainerugaba Boda Boda football tournament. Some of the participating teams were from Kampala.
Tutambude n'abasawo babiri. Tutambude n'omusawo mu ambulance yaffe, ano tutambula n'omusawo wa pichipichi zaffe.
En route to Luwero, queues of riders donned in t-shirts bearing portraits of Muhoozi Kainerugaba painted Gulu Kampala Highway yellow and white. games were hosted at Kasana, Luwero Playgrounds. In the final game of the day, Balita FC entertained the MK Boda Boda Initiative team. 2 goals in favor of Balita FC sealed up the score. The games are intended to popularize the Commander Land Forces, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and also remind the youth about the NRM's achievements.
Tutambula buli district yonna kuba twakirizibwa ya tukiriza fema jega gokutaka twakanya tulina okutambula ensi yonna. General Muhoozi akyali serving am officer nefe ebyo tebitukwatako ffe gwe twagala. Era tugenda kutambula nga tuyita mu byemizannyo kuba ebyemizannyo bikolebwa abavubuka tuyita mu byemizannyo okutapinga abavubuka n'okutegeera biki bye baagala kuba ffe tetuli bannabyabufuzi era tetulina bibiina byabufuzi ffe General Muhoozi tumwagala ng'omuntu omuteeketeeke
ngati Muhoozi tulina projects nyingi zotamina muwendo esoka tulina ambulance wolwalira muwerwaziza tukukiba waka wo paka mudwaliro kujanjaba ate boyagala ngo tulina pichi ya kuvuga ya loni tukuwa pichi bubango tulina taka tukwetaka lya loni tubina byona webiri so project Muhoozi tulina buli kimu kyonna muvuga kigero kuyamba kulakulana.
Land Forces Commander Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has on several occasions pointed out at reviving the country's sports sector as part of his key assignments, regardless of his position in the Uganda's army. Robert Onyango and Joma Nsamba for UBC News.
We're sorry about the mishap, but that was a story about the NRM government, especially among the youth, Boda Boda operators launching a nationwide football tournament that is likely to run for over 5 months. Under the tournament, codenamed MK Boda Boda Football Initiative, also intends to popularize the Commander Land Forces, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Moving on from that, Moroto district presidents are now exchanging firewood and charcoal for local brewed drinks as food. This comes at a time when famine bites deeper into communities following unfavorable weather and insecurity, which left many without going to gardens. Take a look.
By 5 a.m., children and women are already moving from one corner to another of Moroto municipality with either a sack of charcoal or firewood on their heads with a jerrycan on top. They come from areas like Rupa, Nadunget, Loptuk, which are many kilometers away from Moroto municipality. They rotate in areas of Camp Swahili, Kakolye, Labolin and Katanga, where they market their items. Many of their customers are local brewers of Ebutia and Ikwete. Although there is increase in commodity prices across the country, these children and women's items are valued at low cost, where many exchange them with local brewed dregs.
Nothing to sell to buy even anything like this. So they have resorted to go to the wilderness, get firewood, get charcoal to exchange it with residue. They cannot exchange the firewood or charcoal for food. It is expensive. Those ones cannot accept the firewood. They bring it, the cheapest one they can afford is residue.
People are suffering here. Now they have no food here. They are just feeding on residue. They bring firewood, they come and collect the residue.
Reaching at some of the brew spot, over 10 people were seated eating the dregs.
Kakati tulia daka tulide mbanga nyingi lwa mmere teriwo nga nyingi nga tetulia kawunga kula sente meka bigula bisatu balala bitano.
Some can spend the whole day without getting buyers and they have to sleep out to wait for another day.
They may sell it for 4,000-5,000 and yet a can of 3 kilos or 2 kilos and a half of maize is 10,000. It is a very difficult situation here.
And it is good to see people they are suffering. Better you to help us before dying.
The State Minister for Relief, Disaster and Refugees, Esther Davinia Anyakun, promised that food will be coming to Karamoja.
Each sub-county 200 bags of posho, 100 bags of beans. Let me now tell you.
Sudat Kaye, Maureen Yeager, UBC News.
In more stories, Umeme is spending about 12 billion Ugandan shillings in the rehabilitation of electricity infrastructure in the eastern region of the country. The initiative by the Power Distribution Company is aimed at enhancing power supply reliability. Sigora reports.
The eastern districts of Jinja, Kamuli, Tororo, Busia, Kapchorwa and Mbale, among others, often suffer from rampant power outages, mainly due to electricity infrastructure challenges.
Busia has been there for so long, but most of the sub-counties are not connected on the grid.
Factory eyo bakazi bali kwenda okukazengege ku masanyalaze buli kimu kirimu aya amasanyalaze wazira.
To sort out the power reliability issue, Umeme has earmarked $3 million for major power line rehabilitation works in the region.
This program covers mainly reliability. Previously, we had first strengthened the investments in revamping the network, building substations and integration lines in Mbale and Tororo. Now we are going on reliability to improve reliability in this area. So we are launching a program which is worth around $3 million, which will cover refurbishment of a number of feeder lines which are not performing well and with reliability issues. There are mainly 6 lines which shall be refurbishing under this program. The first one is Mbale, Bubulo, right? Second one is Bubulo, Bududa, Ikiki, Kibuku, Tororo, Busia, then Nagongera, Butaleja, we shall be covering Bulangira, Palisa, and among others.
The power distributor will replace rotten poles, string cables and install specific hardware on the Lugazi town, Jinja, Kamuli and the Iganga, Chibimba power distribution lines to improve efficiency.
We are also going to upgrade the conductor along different sections because we've got signals from investors like some of the factories that they intend to expand, and they need to alert us, which they've done, which is good. And we plan to ensure that those sections that are going to those factories and other industrial complexes get enough power. So the critical choke points on the network are also going to be upgraded. In certain cases, we are going to introduce cable works that will provide all of that in just a cocktail of solutions that are specifically designed to improve supply reliability and the customer experience.
The rehabilitation under Umeme's Capital Works project begins this month to the end of the year.
We believe with this last phase of investment, this Elgon-Tororo belt will be receiving more stable, reliable supply for the benefit of the consumers. What we have observed with the stakeholders, there is a shift in expectations. The stakeholders are fully aware that the country has sufficient power supply. The key point, again, which is 95% of the feedback we got, is to address reliability. They want the power on all the time. And if it goes off, they need information and or responsive service.
As the project commences, security agencies have been put on high alert to stop vandalism of new and old electricity infrastructure. In the recent months, many cases of vandalism, including cutting down of power poles, theft of copper power lines, siphoning of transformer oil, and harvesting of iron bars on electricity towers have been reported. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
Leaders in Teso have tasked government to intervene and solve water scarcity in the sub-region. According to the leaders, the most hit district is Bukedea, Katakwi and Kapelebyong, where people move over 2 kilometers in search of safe water.
Leaders who gathered at a function to launch one of the 10 boreholes constructed in Koril sub-county, Bukedea district, for Teso, and other 10 for Lango sub-regions, said the water coverage is still low with 68%. Olem Khan Moses, the Bukedea district chairperson, said there is still need for government to construct more safe water sources to save the people from walking long distances.
So we are now trying to advocate to government that we reduce the water coverage, not only by drilling boreholes, but see reducing the distance which people walk for water, then also reducing the congestion of people within the water source, ensuring that we now strategically drill boreholes depending on where the people are settled.
Geoffrey Omono, the Katakwi district chairperson, revealed that his district has 20 sub-counties, but financially handicapped.
It's about 25 million to have a complete borehole. Now, when money is given, of course, there is need for dams, for animals, there is need for even irrigation, and there are some wells that we put in the communities. We have to consider what little do we put for boreholes, what little do we have to give this. Sometimes you receive only 100 million for water. So we have to see how we can put one borehole here, see how we can have a dam, and so on. So that is the critical challenge that we have there.
Due to the public outcry for water, Uganda Breweries Limited has intervened to curb the water shortage with a handover of 20 boreholes for Lanka and Teso sub-regions worth 560 million to serve 9,223 people in the water-stressed areas of Bukedea, Katakwi, Kaperabyong, Lira and Oyam. Speaking during the handover of newly constructed boreholes in Bukedea, the Managing Director, Uganda Breweries Limited, Andrew Kilonzo, stressed that their intervention is in fulfillment of Uganda's Vision 2040.
Access to safe drinking water and hand washing facilities is low, standing at 51% and 34% respectively, and we are convinced of the need to intervene, and we decided to invest over Uganda shillings 560 million.
Here people trek 2 to 3 kilometers in search of water they often share with animals.
We have only this one borehole, and on top of that the spring well we have. The water is not clean, the worms are there.
Now, the process of drafting the regulations to enforce the Persons with Disabilities Act of 2020 that was recently assented by the President is in the final stages. State Minister for Elderly and Disability, Helen Asamo, confirmed this in a response to concerned disabled students at higher institutions of learning who are currently facing numerous gaps in accessing quality education.
Isaac Msasizi is a visually impaired third-year student at Makerere University, pursuing the bachelor's degree in social work and social administration with a dream of helping the disabled persons in future.
As long as I get a chance and get a platform, I wish to help them in empowering them, providing them with psychosocial support, giving them some developmental perspectives.
However, in his academic journey, he's being disappointed with the system supported by the guides while writing the exams which he wants to be fixed.
At high school, we used to write for ourselves, but here, you have to get a person to write for you. Sometimes it is hard for you to construct a sentence and then tell the person writing for you. But if you're writing for yourself, there is that connection between the hands and the brain. There's a flow which is there, but here, someone writing for you, you're doing orally, it is quite challenging, making it hard for you to construct a good essay.
Conducting lectures online has also affected the performance of the disabled students.
Some challenges, for example, with this issue of Zoom, sometimes it affects them that we are, because some of us are not all that literate as far as using computer is concerned. Maybe if they can focus on training us in ICT so that we may be able to cope up with the outside world.
The inaccessibility of lecture rooms and toilets in some of the higher institutions of learning has proved a nightmare to some of the disabled students.
Yeah, okay. There are just some venues that are distant, and my helper kind of gets a problem of taking me up those hills because she has pressure and some kinds of conditions that make it difficult for her to push me up those hills.
Such anomalies in movements have compelled students' guides to call for salary enhancement, which has also brought government's attention.
Kale ate school fees y'abaana b'ensomesa nnene kale ziba tezimala bulungi. Sirina musajja natuula kale ndiwo okuyiiyira abaana bange babeere nga ndabirira abaana bange, nze mwennyini yenze ndabirira abaana bange era neefaako ng'omukazi nga wabeera nga njagala abaana bange basome.
Because some of them will guide like the blind, automatically they are going to be permanently with this person throughout their life, even when he's going to the bathroom, when he's moving around the university, when he's in the class. Look at a sign language interpreter. He's also going to be attached to this person throughout his life. So maybe as government, we might need to rethink of increasing the allowance that is given to them. And this is only for students who are in government universities.
Students living with albinism are also facing stigma escalated by the fellow students, and it has partially affected their academic performance.
Most of the times, like when I'm at campus here, people try to isolate me. I don't know, because of my color, because I'm someone living with albinism. I forgot talking about it. I'm someone living with albinism. And sometimes people, associate albinism to other spiritual beliefs or other things. So some people even fear associating with me particularly.
Some of them fear for their lives, saying their bodies are being hunted for witchcraft-related rituals.
They use us as a sacrifice in such a way that people even kill persons living with albinism. And some people tell me they use it for catching fish in the lakes. So they kill us. When you're killed, they cut you in pieces, and then they'll be putting on those fishing nets, and the fish will be coming. That people who are living with albinism are so they are so blessed. When you're a fisherman, you really get enough fish.
This has been attributed to the weakness in the law that ought to protect the rights of the disabled persons.
We are the future tomorrow. So when the government doesn't make such kind of things or adjustments that can reach the ground level, to pick those persons with disability in ground levels to really reach the maximum that they can defend themselves, like the way per now. May I have a belief where I've reached per now. No one can come and tell me something which can really try to cause a problem or havoc to my life.
But the process of drafting the regulations to enforce the Persons with Disability Act 2020 that was recently assented to by the President might save the situation.
And in that act, it has brought issues of rights, and my ministry has just finalized the regulations which are now in front of the Solicitor General. I'm very sure after the Solicitor General has signed these regulations and given us a go-ahead, the rights of people with disabilities will be respected, because their rights of education, rights of health, rights of family, all of them are in that law.
Uganda's population is now estimated at 48 million, with 12% of the population living with disabilities, which has left them less economic, social and education opportunities despite the government's efforts to create more. Joseph Okow, Joy Nabulo, UBC.
Thank you so much, Joseph Okow, for that wonderful report. In more news, Romeo is a household name among those who appreciate music. The Northern Uganda artist is a graduate of public administration from Gulu University, who was also inspired by South Africa's reggae star, Lanka. Now the man behind Yoleng is a popular tune from Northern Uganda, and we have details.
Weathering many storms.
I studied during the war.
Overcoming numerous obstacles.
I am an OB of the prisons as well. Somebody arrested me for something I did not do.
And overpowering countless enemies.
I went through the courts of law. I got bail the following day.
Have been his inspiration to triumphant high point.
I am Luo. I am a gospel artist. Yoleng la ging mo pereya yoleng wano kara kara pili lili yoleng la la wo yabo yo yoleng wano kara kara. Yeah, I hope because you didn't pay, that's enough for you, sir.
Inspired by South Africa's reggae star, Lanka the Late, and motivated by Judy Butcher, Romeo Odong's music journey has been interesting. A graduate of public administration from Gulu University, Romeo Wilbert Odong had his early days in school, attended during war.
My mom was a teacher, and each time your mother is transferred to another school, you also shift school. And so I had to migrate from school to school. But the biggest impact from my primary level, I would say, has been Gulu Primary School, where I sat P7, and in 1998, I was the only pupil who got a first grade in the entire, I think, Juba Road as such.
A product of St. Joseph's College Laibi, from where he completed his O-level, Odong also went to St. Kizito Secondary School in Bugorobi, a suburb of Kampala. Upon completion of his A-level, he was now cleared by his mother to join the music industry, which she had earlier on discouraged him from.
I sat my senior 6, brought high result, 16 points in HECD. She was impressed. And then she's like, now I think you're ready to do your music if you want to. Because she knew I really wanted.
Secular music is what he did first, alongside a brother and a friend, releasing numerous tunes, including some in honor of the late Lucky Dube.
The first song we did was called Miss You Dube. Second song was called Reggae Music So Nice. Third song, African Child.
It is a career that dated back to his days in primary school, when his head teacher noticed his capacity in music.
You're my identity everywhere I go.
With a music background of a mother who was a music teacher and a grandmother who loved singing, it was just unavoidable.
My deliverer, my salvation, my provider as long as I live.
My grandma who raised me sang literally everything. She's cooking, she's singing, she's digging, she's singing, grinding for us, she's singing. So music was literally part of everything that I grew up within.
His breakthrough, however, only came when he ventured into gospel music after giving his life to Jesus Christ. This song took the Ugandan airwaves by storm, spreading its message across Africa and infecting music lovers in the world. But behind this melody is a message of hope based on a true life story of the composer himself.
I also have a history of boxing. I actively box, and if such an accusation is put on me, it is easy for people to believe that if really that's not your weight category, if he really did that, then surely he can give you that. And by the grace of God, everything, the case was acquitted.
From the prison experience, which he says he was subjected to innocently, he had 2 or 3 lessons to learn.
And not everybody who goes to prison deserves to be there. Some is because of ignorance, some is because of people, evil people who plan things against you, and to some, they really did what they others are there because they deserve to be there. And so through that as well, God gave me a heart for prison ministry.
Such inspiration has seen him give a hand in his other occupation at Watoto Church and the other environments.
I'm working on the first prison album that the prisoners are recording together with me to bring an album out and talk about how much prison wastes time, how the young generation are supposed to avoid being in prison.
A worshiper, a husband and a songwriter, Odong has mastered the art of balancing family and work. And this is how.
The first ministry is family. If you fail as a family person, you have failed in everything. And so first I had to do it right. Marry my wife, and then there are roles and responsibilities that a father is supposed to do. I make sure I look into those.
Having been a secular musician, seen it and did it all, Romeo Odong has a word for youth.
Sex is amazing, but you need to do it with the right person at the right time. What am I saying? In marriage.
A family man, married and a father of 3, Odong loves cooking during his free time, washing shoes, going to the gym, and playing football. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Very inspiring, glad right there, Romeo Odong. Moving on from that, the Bishop Namirembe Diocese has urged students of Nalia Secondary School, Weyogerere, to make use of their time to appreciate God's kindness to humanity. Now, the Bishop made the remarks at a confirmation ceremony of over 200 students of Nalia Secondary School, Weyogerere.
Over 200 students of Nalia Secondary School, Weyogerere, have been confirmed into the Anglican faith by Bishop Chicholu Walira.
These your servants with your Holy Spirit, confirm and strengthen, O Lord.
The Bishop emphasized reflection on the knowledge and omnipotence of God.
It's my prayer that you may realize that at one point or the other, maybe you went off track. You were lost. And you can actually say, I no longer feel the presence of the Lord with me.
The Bishop urged students to embrace the teaching of the Word of God and warned them against being driven by theological presuppositions but biblically centered. The confirmed students were asked to always prepare on what to preach and must be committed to communing with God.
You have lived a life not worthy of your calling. You may not have had the opportunity to realize that the days are so evil, and maybe you have been taken by the wave or the tide. It is high time for you to come back and say, here I am, Lord, forgive me, cleanse me, because you have reminded me that I am your loved and forgiven son and daughter.
The head teacher, Nalia Secondary School, Weyogerere, Nsanji Robina Sebyai, explained that the confirmed students have to follow their word and deliver what they have pledged to their God.
They have been renewed in their faith and strengthened, so we expect only good things from them because they are the new light in our society. And to the rest of the students' community, give them the conducive environment, guide them rather than judging them, and help them to fulfill what they have pledged before the Lord.
Some of the confirmed students were optimistic that what they missed out in the COVID-19 lockdown has been covered.
And I believe I'm going to try my best, do my best to do all that can take me to heaven.
I really wanted to get confirmed since I was young because it helps you in many ways to get the holy matrimony, to eat the holy bread. Not only that, it teaches you a lot. Because there are many things I didn't know. I didn't know about the cults, those stuff, but it taught us a lot. So I want to use what I've learned to help my other friends who are out there. They don't have a religion, because you can ask someone, what's your religion? And they're all like, nah, us we don't worship, we are just there.
I will do so, God being my helper.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
UBC News tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, data, because Daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Fun is our flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is fruity awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using Tugabane. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from the break. Life is getting tough for the alcoholic beverage manufacturers in Uganda. The COVID-19 pandemic disruptions and the harsh economic situation the country is currently facing is affecting revenue for breweries. This was disclosed at the launch of Uganda Breweries Dejo One retailer app in Kampala.
The retailer self-service application available in the App Store enables retail outlet owners and managers to take ownership of their supply and inventory fulfillment by placing orders from their mobile devices.
Traditionally, we've been able to go to our customers only directly through either ourselves visiting them or through the trucks that carry beer going in there. And what COVID told us is that was a very, very temporary way of doing business.
Uganda becomes the third country in Africa after Kenya and Ghana to launch the Diageo One Retailer Serve digital platform. The benefits include 24-hour distribution service, full visibility of product list, product recommendation and promotions alerts.
We did the piloting. This is the second month. We finished piloting in a distributor called Justima, and we showcased him there. Out of the total universe, he serves about 500 customers in total, which are in his market. 300 people managed within that month to get onboarded into Diageo One. And out of that, we've seen repeat purchase of close to about 60% of that number coming back and purchasing or buying through the platform of Diageo One.
At the launch, concerns about the state of the economy were raised Brewery companies admit they are feeling the heat of the rising inflation and cost of living that is forcing their clients to choose between luxury and necessity, a situation worsened by the hiking of prices of alcoholic beverages.
Currently, we are going through a very tough time through our consumers and our customers. Inflation has really been biting.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic struck in early 2020, the world has experienced a big uptake in digital technology. These innovations on the digital space continue to bridge the technological divide, impacting positively on economic development. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
A World Cup in the desert, the first one in the Middle East, the first to be held at the end of the year. That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out-of-this-world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on Supersport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, sijui data, because Daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, and Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. From the international scene, now protesters have said that they'll continue to occupy the Sri Lankan presidential and prime ministerial residences until both leaders officially resign. President Gotabaya said he would step down on the 13th of July, according to an announcement made by the Parliament Speaker on Saturday. But the president has not been seen or made a public statement himself. Thousands descended on Colombo on Saturday demanding his resignation after months of protests. The president has been blamed for the country's economic mismanagement, which has caused shortages of food, fuel and medicine for months. Prime Minister Ranil also said he would step down following Saturday's protests in which his private residence was set on fire. But protesters remain skeptical about the leader's intentions. A man lies on a sofa looking at his phone in the Sri Lankan presidential official residence on Sunday. Now, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that any new government needed to immediately focus on long-term economic stability.
Yellow fever is a serious disease that is caused by the yellow fever virus from monkeys. The virus is transmitted to humans by a bite of an infected Aedes mosquito. The yellow in the name refers to the yellowing of the body, mainly the eyes, mouth, and the palms. Other signs and symptoms like rapid onset of fever, headache, general body weakness, loss of appetite, vomiting, usually appear in the first 3 to 6 days of being bitten by an infected mosquito. Remove potential mosquito breeding sites, such as stagnant water and bushes around your home, and sleep under an insecticide-treated net every night to avoid being bitten by mosquitoes. Parents, take all children aged 9 months to the nearest health facility for vaccination. During the same visit, the child will also receive measles and rubella vaccine. Adults can as well get lifelong vaccination against yellow fever. Notify the health worker about any suspected yellow fever case at the nearest health facility. Please note, yellow fever is not transmitted from person to person by contact. For more information, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from World Health Organization and UNICEF.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Thank you so much for still watching and staying with us. It's just 6 minutes to 11 p.m. and for us to be able to conclude UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. Now, Uganda has completed a successful 2 days Olympic Solidarity Regional National Olympic Committee's regional forum that attracted delegates from more than 60 delegates from 30 countries. This particular one was from delegates from English-speaking countries and will be allowed by those from French-speaking countries starting on the 11th of July.
We are happy that Uganda was chosen to host this year's IOC or Olympic Solidarity Forum. They host these events every year. Each year has a different theme. The theme for this year is preparation for Paris 2024.
The purpose of this meeting that we are organizing is for the NOCs of Africa to prepare the Olympic Games Paris 2024. We are doing that 2 years prior to the Games, really to pass the different topic, to answer the question, and to make sure that the NOCs get all the information to start the preparation, if not already done. I mean, to start the preparation for the delegation for the Paris Olympic Games.
Uganda's strides in its sports journey have been applauded during a 2-day Olympic Solidarity Forum for African National Olympic Committees.
Here in Uganda is a very strong team. They know what they are doing. There is a proper strategic plan. There is a proper... we encourage the government to support the sport movement because they can bring great pride to Uganda.
The forum was dedicated to the National Olympic Committee's preparations for the 34th Olympiad Paris 2024 and announced more than $3 million for centers of excellence.
Our project for the preparation of African athletes for the podium, which we call the ANOCA Athletes Support Program, for which the association have allocated $2 million plus $1.7 million for excellence centers so that we can showcase our African top-level athletes. The people were very happy to learn about the selection of 49 top-level athletes in Africa, ranked among the top 10 in the world.
National Council for Sports Board Chairperson Ambrose Tashobia expects the country to leverage on such opportunities to grow sports further.
Being able to host a forum like this is good for our NOC to showcase itself to the IOC, but also us as a country, we need to be seen, or we need to actually host as many such forums and even games to be able, to showcase Uganda to the world out there.
This workshop was reserved for the National Olympic Committee Secretary Generals, Chief de Mission for the 2024 Olympic in France.
Well, thank you so much for watching UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. And now it's just 3 minutes to 11 p.m. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Ngaluma Ahmed in sign language. Do stay, because we have Nigeria versus Burundi, that is with Peter Otai in the African Women's Nations Cup. Alcon, have a good night and God bless you, and a successful new week as you start it tomorrow. Bye-bye.